Hey guys, Greg Moriatis here. Today I want to talk about lessons learned from a World War II veteran. Thank you again for listening to this channel. I appreciate you. As always, if you find value, please like, subscribe, share, and ring that bell so you don't miss anything. The last couple of days, I had somebody very near and dear to my heart. Somebody that I was thinking about. It's my uncle Ali. Uncle Ali had passed away right before COVID. Now that I think about it, knowing what we all been through, they said that he died because of pneumonia. And at that time, he was in an assisted living. Not really assisted living, but they were watching after him at this, I guess, assisted living home. And thinking about it now, all these people were coming down with symptoms of pneumonia and also symptoms of the flu, but nobody knew what was going on. And if I look back at it, I can guarantee you that his passing was COVID related and old age. But Uncle Ali was really important to me. And I started seeing his strength as I got older. He was a World War II veteran. I should say he is a World War II veteran. He was an engineer, I believe, for the 253 engineers out of the Midwest. Now, I'm from the East Coast, which is interesting because it's going to give you some background about some of the lessons that I learned from him. Uncle Ali comes from immigrants from Germany and Italy. They came to the United States. And then clearly he enlisted. What's interesting to me about Uncle Ali is that I'd never seen him complain. Now, Uncle Ali I knew before I knew that he was a veteran, lost his two kids younger. They both outlived Mom and himself. That in itself is reason to give up. I'm sorry. I have never had that and hopefully never will have that ever happen to me. But coming out of that is something that's just amazing in itself. He talked about it but never complained about it. Not too long ago, before he passed away, I got to talk to him a little bit more about being in World War II. He never really talked about it, but I guess it was because of his situation, of his failing health, that he decided to talk about it a little bit. And by a little bit, I mean really a little bit. There was only about a couple stories, and I'm going to share those with you today. And tell you the lessons that I learned from him. And I hope you can use these lessons in real life, because I have to use those. I have them posted in on a board in front of me, because each and every time that I need strength, I always look to him, because I know he was a much stronger person than I've ever seen in my entire life. With that being said, he became an engineer for the 253 out of the Midwest. He trained and he got sent on active duty right into the heart of Normandy. Right, he stormed the beaches of Normandy, and one thing that came to me right away is when I said, "Hey, can you tell me about that?" Because I've only seen and heard and read. And funny enough, he giggled, which was kind of strange if you really think about it, of what we know about it and not being actually in it. And he said the funny part is when they opened the gates for him and his group to leave the boat. He goes, at that point, they were far offshore. And the water was way over their head. And clearly, as we know with anybody in the military and the military people that are listening right now, you guys carry a lot of gear, a lot of heavy gear each and every day. Because you need that gear. I don't know what kind of gear he had being an engineer. I really don't, but I'm assuming easily 50 pounds on your back. With that being said, when they jumped off in the water, they went straight down to the bottom. Funny, not funny, his two superior officers, being from the Midwest, really did not know how to swim in open water. So he dove down, grabbed both of them, one under each arm, and he waded back to the beach, well, to the beach of Normandy. Now, we could always talk to each other and say, you know, that in itself is a heroic action, but let's be realistic. He honestly didn't need to do it, and nobody would have ever turned a blind eye and said he was being selfish, he just wanted to save himself, he wanted to get to the beach as quick as possible without getting killed. And it is kind of acceptable, but the reality of it is his heroic act saved 2 other people. I mean, really think about that. So not only was he carrying himself, his gear, he was carrying 2 individuals waiting on his back with their gear. Amazing. Then he told me of another story, is that most of the times when they had to transport themselves to other locations, they would ride on top of railroad cars. He said him and his buddies and the whole group were on top of this railroad car going, he didn't really say where he was going. And he goes, then a plane flew overhead and started shooting at them. As the plane came barreling down, they had no chance of survival other than leaving the train. So each one of them at that point, now remember, this is a fast-moving train. I don't care. Any moving train. It's still high. They all jumped off into a gully. A ravine. Off the side before the bullets from this plane was coming over to them. They all jumped off. And he goes, then he spent, I think he said about a day, trying to find a couple of his close buddies. And he found them. So think about that. I mean, we have it easy in this world. Some of the soldiers that are listening to this, I commend you. I think you guys and girls are amazing. And you have my full support in everything and anything. But when it comes to survival, it was really interesting to me that he would jump off of a moving train into a gully. Now, I understand that he didn't have any options. There was 0 options. It was either die or jump. What was amazing to me is that he said, hey, I got banged up. It was okay. It hurt. I'm not sure if he broke anything. He really didn't say anything. But then he giggled again. So I think about those 3 stories. One is him losing children early. Then I think about the next story, where he heroically saved 2 individuals while being deployed off of a ship in Normandy while being shot at. And we all know how horrible that situation was. Then I think about him with 0 options at all, diving off a moving train into a gully before he got shot up. Those are 3 really important things, and those in general just make me not only wish he was still here to hear more stories, but just go, man, now that's a person. That's a person that has commitment not only to himself and his survival, but him, his family, his buddies that he deployed with. Now, when he got older and his wife passed away, there was not many people that took after him. My mom was his main caregiver. And we put him into this facility, which wasn't really an assisted living facility, but it was a facility that had, it was all ground level. It was a studio apartment, but it was with older people. I believe it was 65 and older. And all these people would look, they would all his people within that building always looked after each other, and they had to. They had to for survival. They really did. Now, thinking about him, there's a couple other stories that came up. One is that, I mean, this man also, let's back up a little bit. He had diabetes, lost his leg. His other leg had only 2 or 3 toes on it left. He had a hip replacement. He had a triple bypass. And not once did I ever hear him complain that he was tired, he was sore, he didn't feel like walking. So then I want to go to the next story. I get a call from my mom that says, Uncle Allie fell in the hallway. He needs our help. I'm not very close to him. And close as meaning distance. And then my mom got there closer. She lived not too far. And then what she did was she called me up and said, Uncle Allie lost his leg and he fell. Can you come here? I can't pick him up. So I did. I drove over there. And the first thing he looks at me, he goes, Greg, why are you here? I'm like, Uncle Allie, because you lost your leg. You're on the floor. I'm trying to come here to help you. He goes, I'm all right. I'll figure it out. I mean, think about that for a minute. And then there was the firemen came a little later because one of the neighbors had called for rescue to help him before I got there. And they helped him out. And the same thing. He's like, why are you guys here? I can get up. He can't get up. He was literally in the doorway without a leg. The leg was at least 10 to 15 feet away from him on the floor. But yet he didn't complain. And quite frankly, my last story that I really want to talk about is when he passed away. He didn't really say much. I was visiting every couple of days. But I remember going in, and most of the time when he was in the hospital for some reason or another, he would always say, I'll be out in 3 days, I'll be out in 4 days, I'll see you next week. And he was almost always right. But this was one of the last times that he went. I remember him looking at me in his eyes, and he goes to me, this is not good. Don't think I'm getting out of here. And I said, I get it, and I understand it. And I said, you need to do what you need to do for yourself. Still, not a complaint. I admire this man. I admire that he went through so much horrible things in his life and not once did he complain. This was a man that worked 2 to 3 jobs after he got out of the military so that he could pay off his house quicker and have extra money to go on decent vacations that most people were not. Everybody said that he was rich, but you know what? He wasn't rich. He worked his ass off to get what he deserved. If he wanted to go on vacation, he put extra time in. He put overtime in. He was a laborer. He worked at a power company. He collected tokens at a bridge, which some of you people might not even know what that is anymore, especially with Easy Pass. But you did have to give a token collector money at one time. But through my conversations with him over the years, I wanted to share with you five lessons that I've learned that I carry with me. And like I said, it is on a board in front of me right now as I speak. And the first one is wake up grateful. Wake up grateful. Wake up grateful that you're alive. This man did that every day. He didn't have to. The stuff that he's been through, I'm surprised that he even wanted to be alive. But he knew he wanted to be alive. And you know, there's another story I can tell you really quick. His amputated leg, his hip was bothering him, so he was asking for a hip replacement. The doctor's like, we can't give it to you, you're not going to come out. He goes, I don't care, at least I'll feel better at the end. Let's try. They didn't give it to him, he passed away before, and I know no doctor would. But that goes to my next thing, never complain. First of all, nobody's listening to you. I get your spouse, your loved one, your partner. We all complain to each other because there's all an outlet. But the reality of it is complaining really doesn't do anything. So wake up grateful that you're alive. Never complain at your situation. Never complain. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. You just got to do more. Always help and serve. This man was always there for me. He was always there for others. He was always there for my mother. Never complained and was always grateful every day. But he was always there to help and serve. And I think that's important in this world, especially in a time where I feel like people don't do it at all. People are so selfish and egotistical right now. but you must always help and serve. The other one is never give up. This man, we know that would have not come out of World War II if he gave up. If he gave up when his 2 siblings passed, we would have lost an amazing man. If he wouldn't have worked those extra jobs to make ends meet. His never give up attitude was amazing to me. Amazing. And it's so true in life. Never give up. We're here for such a short period of time. Even though some days are longer than others and others are shorter than others, at least in our perception, we all have the same amount of hours. But never give up on your day. Never give up on your family. Never give up on anyone. Really anyone. Because everybody needs each other. And the last one's work your ass off. This man would have worked the day that he died if he could. 2, 3 jobs, paying off houses early. Was always at your house if you needed you. Never afraid to do manual labor. Never afraid to cook for a hell of a lot of people in a house. And he didn't need to do any of this. He chose to do that. But that's what made him the man that he is. So what he taught me was those 5 lessons. Wake up grateful every day that you're alive. Never, ever complain. Always help and serve. Always help and serve. Never give up. Work your ass off. I'm going to give it to you again because I think it's really important. Everybody needs this. And it's not just for your own, it's for your personal life, but it also can be into business. It's also something great to teach your children, to tell the world. Wake up grateful that you're alive. You only get one chance at this life. Never complain because nobody's really listening and nobody really cares because there's nobody going to be there to save you other than yourself. Always help and serve. That's our job in this world. Stop being nasty to each other. Help each other. Serve each other. Provide what they can't, what they don't have. Help. Never, ever, ever give up. Never give up, never quit. And last is work your ass off. Guys, I really hope you enjoyed this podcast today. Again, please, if you find value in this, I have some great stuff that I'm thinking about. And I need to get this out. And with your help, when you subscribe, like, and share, it helps me grow this channel. And every time that you help me grow this channel, guys, it really helps me help you. And as one of Uncle Ali's sing, always help and serve. So by you subscribing, helps me help and serve. All right, thank you guys for listening. Again, subscribe if you really like this. And remember what Uncle Ali said, wake up grateful every day, never complain, always help and serve, never give up, and work your ass off. I hope everybody has success. I hope everybody had an amazing day. I hope you listen to this with a better attitude. Get up, make it happen. And remember what I always say, small changes equal big results. So make sure that each and every day you strategize, you execute, and you win like a champion. Talk to you later, guys. Bye.